Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
All right, in this video, I'm going to speak to you about the double standards that exist between men and women, the way society treats a man if he commits a particular crime and a woman if she commits the same particular crime. And I would like to know your thoughts in the comment section below, whether you agree, disagree with what I have to say, and including the conclusion that I give in the end. I have not planned it out, but I'm going to logically give you what I feel without even having thought of the conclusion. All right. Let me know what are your thoughts. In case you're new to my channel, my name is Loy Machedo. I'm a personal branding strategist whose goal is to help get people well-paying jobs in Dubai, UAE, and also Saudi, Qatar, Bahrain, Oman. Most of the people want to go to the Middle East. People also book my services for coaching, consulting for personal or professional issues when they're tired of all the goody-goody standard cliche advice and they want something that is practical and thought-provoking. Well, 7,000 videos on YouTube. Check it out and see if my style is your cup of tea. All right, let's move on to the topic. How the topic came to be was, I was, I have these WhatsApp groups, many of these WhatsApp groups, and one of them, this guy is a contributor. He's almost every single day he contributes good content and worthwhile content. And some of it is not my cup of tea. Some of it is. So he shared one particular video, and now the new WhatsApp features, especially WhatsApp for the iMac, it shows the video and clearly. So there, the video display was a female with lipstick smudged on her lips and a small boy. And below what he had written is, see this woman touching this boy inappropriately, and is it right? And if roles were reversed, would they tolerate a man doing it? So I was like, first and foremost is, such a video should not be shared in my groups if if what he's claiming is true, an act of pedophilia. And secondly, I was like, why is he sharing this? Like, there were quite a number of questions because he normally shares worthwhile content. And he said, this is viral. This has gone viral on TikTok or whatever. Okay. I clicked the video and there was some song, some Hindi song or something. And the female, I think she's in her 20s maybe, late 20s. This boy is maybe 11 or 12 or whatever, is wearing a bandit, and they're just pushing each other, pulling each other, something they're doing. And one of them said, this is a song about brother-sister love or something like that. I was like, okay, this is what they're doing. So where is inappropriately touching? Because she was actually tickling him or something like that. So then he said, I asked him, we need to be careful and responsible what we state on social media or whom we claim or what we claim about some individual. So I said, I don't think that, she's indulging in an act of pedophilia. But then he said, what if the roles were reversed? What if it was an older guy doing it with a younger girl? Now, over here, he did have a point. Because I'll give you a specific example. There was this viral video that went, I had seen this video, I found it on Facebook, where there's this bar or pub that was there, a nightclub kind of thing. The mother tells the boy to go get an orange juice or something like that. He goes to the bar, and there's this female bartender, and he asks for orange juice. And after she gets it, he asks for a kiss. Okay. Or he asks for a kiss or whatever. And this bartender, this female, gives him a peck on the lips. Okay. And the boy's like, hey, and the mother's laughing, and but the comment section was pretty interesting because people said, okay, so if a woman, she's a grown ass woman, huh? She's in her maybe 40s, whatever, 30s, 40s. If a grown ass woman uh, kisses the lips of a boy, small boy, he was actually, I think, 11 or 12 or whatever, it's okay. But if you reverse the roles and a man were to do it to a girl, uh, he would not only be arrested, I mean, maybe someone would even, like physically beat him up. Okay. And yes, he would be labeled as a pedophile. Now, what they said over there was very, very accurate, because if a guy were to do it to a girl, small girl, yes, it would be for, and I'm not endorsing that a man should do it. Okay. And in case you want to jump the gun and say, oh, you're a sick guy, and I know how you're thinking. I have been molested and raped as a small boy from the age of 7, multiple number of times by my uncle, and because I didn't have any support from my family. I have endured this for many years as a child. So I know what it feels like to be a victim. I know what it feels to be molested, and I know what it feels to be raped, compared to some of you who only know the theory. I know, I've experienced it, I've lived through it. Okay. And I'm not someone who takes it very lightly. I'm a very protective father. I have a small little baby girl, and even children. I'm very, if I see any of my friends and they have kids or clients and they have children, and I see anyone coming close to them, uh, I always, I always communicate to the parents and I tell them the danger. So just chill out before you even jump the gun and try associating with me. Yes, there is a video of the Dalai Lama, which I put, where he sticks out his tongue and tells a boy, you want to suck it, which became a scandal. And at first, even I was bashing up the Dalai Lama, but once I understood the Tibetan culture, why I changed my opinion. And people still call me a pedophile supporter and all that. You can check that video later. That video has quite a number of views, whatever. Okay, so what I'm trying to make you understand is, I understand pedophilia. I understand the act that goes in it. I've experienced, I've been a victim before. And today I am someone who makes sure that parents or adults are made aware, and children also learn how to protect themselves. Okay, so let's get that part out. So I am totally against man or woman, any adult, inappropriately touching a child, especially that is not theirs. Okay, your own child, yes, that doesn't mean if you have your own child, you can do whatever you want. There are boundaries. Like, for example, my daughter, who's only 4 years old, right from the age of, I think, 3, when she used to, go have bath and, run naked, I told my wife, I want you to communicate to her and tell her that I'm a man, even though I'm her father, I'm a man, and she has to always cover herself. So from the age of 3 going to 4, even when my daughter is like just finishes shower, she covers herself. And when she sees me, I turn the other side. I said, oh, she. I close my eyes, and my daughter is very shy, and she puts 2 towels. So I'm very particular about all this. And I personally, because here in Samui, this is a island which is like a touristy island. You get all these foreigners who come here, Westerners. When I see small girls, like 7, 8-year-old, walking with their parents, and they're just walking with swimming uh, like the lower part, but nothing at the top. I I find it very disturbing, very very disturbing. How can they permit this? And sometimes I see girls wearing very skimpy outfits. Um I don't know how a parent can allow this. Even when they are going shopping, sometimes girls are wearing clothes like adults wear off shoulder, and they don't have anything. It's they've not even reached puberty, but I still find it very very inappropriate, very inappropriate. Why? Because we live in a world filled with a lot of dirty minded people, a lot of pedophiles, hidden pedophiles. And remember, in these Asian countries that are there, like Philippines, Vietnam, Thailand, a lot of Westerners who have a fetish for pedophilia, they come here to satisfy them because they know they can't do it in the West. So I'm very aware. And countries like India, especially, which have a 1 billion population, India, I don't know much about other countries, but I can talk about India. Um, it is very rampant, but people don't talk about it because it's a matter of shame. In fact, it is so bad that in India, even if you're molested or even raped, the parents and society, or the parents and the family will say, don't tell anyone because it'll spoil your name. So better to keep quiet. This is how sad and unfortunate it is. Okay. So coming back to this one, um, this video, uh, when he sent that and he said, what if a man were to do it? If roles were reversed, they wouldn't keep quiet. Now, first and foremost, any man or woman with common sense, decency, and at least an iota of, a little bit of uh, being able to use your brains, you should know that today, in today's day and age, you should be very sensitive and very aware of how you deal with children. Okay, even hugging. I'll tell you, there's this restaurant here. Don't want to give specifics. My daughter went there. There was this lollipop, which is hardly 5 baht, 5 Thai baht. So she wanted one lollipop. And I was ready to pay. The guy said, no, just he gave it. He's the owner. He gave it, and then he said, give me a kiss. Now, even though he must have done it out of maybe, fatherly love, I felt it very inappropriate that he asked her for a kiss. And mind you, I know he didn't say this with bad intention. But then again, it's not his child. Asking someone for a kiss, like, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I'm not such a modern thinker where I'm okay with adults asking my daughter, come give me a kiss, come give me a kiss. Yes, it was like, even though I'm from an Indian, South Indian, I'm an ex-Catholic. I'm no more a Catholic. South Indian Catholic family, they would say, give uncle a kiss, give auntie a kiss. I I'm not at all comfortable. In fact, I've told my wife very, very clearly, I don't care who it is, other than your mother. Nobody, mother and father, and that also under public preview, can hug, hold the baby. Apart from that, relatives, only your sister, because she knows the sister very well publicly. The men cannot touch my daughter. Okay, men cannot touch my daughter, hug and this and that. I'm not comfortable. Tell them I said that. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't give a damn whether they feel bad. And especially when they're having a party and alcohol is there. Especially. Okay, I'm very particular about it. And people who drink alcohol, I'm massive red flags, because I know what it does to people. Okay. So I'm very protective, overly protective in that way, because I've seen the ugly side. But now, coming to the double standards part, I think before social media, we would rarely hear the news. And if we would hear the news, it was only about men committing this crime with, children. But lately, because of social media and all, we have come to know that a lot of women, grown women, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, especially teachers, they're doing it with their students, 11, 12, 13. Now, here's the funny thing. When such a news is being shared online, if it was a girl, a guy did it to a girl, they would hate that guy. But when a woman does it to a boy, the comments generally, the men's are, man, fucking hell, he's so lucky. I wish someone had done that to me when I was a child. There's a different subset of rules for boys or young men indulging in sex with an older woman. I don't know whether it's a fetish or I don't know it's a fantasy, but I suspect it is because men are always considered to be like the superior, powerful, strong. So it's okay to have sex with the females. It's okay. And if a female were to, approach you, you're still a man. That kind of thing. What do I personally think? What do I personally think? You have to be very sensitive when you're dealing with children. Okay. Even if a 11-year-old boy, let's assume a 10-year-old or 11-year-old boy, like that boy who went to the pub and he asks for a kiss, this grown woman, immediately, yes, people will say, wow, it's so cool. I wish I was 11 years. Men, including me, including me and all the way, we would all say, I wish I had done. No, like we would say that. But when I look at it from the lens of being a father, the first thought would be, what experiences has that boy gone through for which sex is so casual that he can literally think and fantasize about a woman who's elder to him wanting to kiss him. If he's so comfortable, so cool, and so like as if it's so normal, how would he target a girl his age? And then I would also think, he's 11. What if he is with a small baby girl he's holding? I mean, he's an 11-year-old boy. He may not know what he's doing. Maybe there's a small girl, he'll be like, like when you're small, when you're young, you have these games. No, let's play doctor, doctor. I'm the doctor, you're the patient. And they start exploring private parts. This, we might not talk about this, but these are the games that children sometimes are exposed to. I've been exposed to them. Let's play husband, wife. Let's play papa, mama. We'll have a dog. And let's enact what is happening in the bedroom. And like when it happened to me the first time, where a girl of my age or slightly bigger than me, when I was put for babysitting and she was indulging in acts of sex, I was like, okay, for me, kids are just curious. They want to explore. They don't know what is wrong or right. But deep down, something is not right because you wouldn't want to say or share it in front of the elders, especially your parents. In fact, I remember this so vividly. In my family, I will not state who, the small little boy of this one family member, small little boy, I think he was five, or whatever. And we were all sitting there. We were all sitting, and everyone was just, and he started rubbing his genitals on one of my aunt's leg, which is rubbing it. And then, she noticed it and she immediately nudged the relative, and soon everyone noticed. And the mother, as soon as she came to, what are you doing? And this and that. And then the question that was on everyone's mind is, what is the mother and father doing by which this boy has resorted to this behavior? Or are they not paying attention? Where is he going? Who is he mixing with? So there are a lot of questions that way. So now coming to the society, the way society views. In fact, there was this, I don't know, TikTok or Facebook or YouTube prank video where they show a guy dressed up as an Arab. I think it was in Australia. Guy dressed up in an Arab and a female dressed up in full black. It's called burqa. They are walking, and the prank video is in the same place where they show the female who's dressed up in full black. She's beating her husband. They are putting on an act, the secret camera. So when she's beating her husband, everyone in the park is walking and laughing, and they find it funny. And he's a bearded guy, and he's like, don't. And she keeps hitting, and everyone's laughing, and everyone's enjoying, and everyone's like, even taking a video of it. Okay. But when the roles were reversed and they showed the guy hitting the female, remember, it's all an act. People are not laughing. Immediately, a man or somebody else would come and grab this guy by the neck or, hold his hand or something and protect. So we as men or society has always been inclined towards men are more powerful, okay? Women are timid, and we have to protect the women, okay? So there is a different subset of rules for men and different subset of rules for women. And this has continued. Even today, it still continues. And the problem is, when you try to make men and women equal, you always get people who take advantage. Like women now are saying, yes, we are equal to men, so I will not wear a top. Why men can go topless? I'll go without a top. Women, certain women, not all, they're like, okay, guys can have open sex with 4 or 5 girls and be cool. I'm going to have sex with 4 or 5 guys and be cool. Fuck you. Like, so what? So we are on the cusp of a very delicate situation where whatever we say can be taken out of context. So does double standard exist for men and women? 100%. Yes. That is why if you see some of these videos that are shared on Facebook, a guy is standing in a bus. He's just minding his own business. A couple of girls standing there. Suddenly the bus hits the brakes and he falls on the girl. And because he fell on the girl turns around and slaps him. And he's like just holding like this, like in total shock, like what the hell just happened? So he goes and stands in front of the female. And then again the bus is going and he's just minding his own business, and suddenly the brakes hit again. And the female falls on him, and this time he turns around and gives her a slap. Now, even though this was like a act, it was like a kind of a mini movie. Generally, let's look at life in reality. There are a lot of men who purposely fall on women. There are men who purposely rub their genitals or their bodies on women. There are, okay? And it's not a secret. Do women do that? I don't think. I have known personal examples. Could it be possible? Yes, but not as rampant as men. Okay. Now, if a female fell on a guy and she was beautiful, I can assure you this much, the guy would not mind. That's the reality of the situation. Now, if the guy was very handsome and hot and the female was like, not very beautiful and she's seen a stud of a guy falling on top of her, maybe a female would not mind. But generally, in majority of the situations, men don't seem to mind it. They're like, I'm a guy. It's okay. Nothing happened. But a female, no, she wouldn't mind. And I think it comes down to culture, upbringing, religion, and the way society and tradition has evolved, has been over the years. So, what is the conclusion now? Is it okay for women to do it? Is it okay for men to do it? I would just say, irrespective what society says, okay, whether there's double standards, you mind your P's and Q's. You have to mind your P's and Q's. That's number one. Don't do anything that has got to do with other people's children. Now, let me give you one shocking bit of reality. There are quite a number of guys who are in my porno groups. Okay, quite a number of guys who are in the porn group. There are a couple of females also. I have a WhatsApp group dedicated porn, and I tell them, make sure the porn that you share is general porn. I don't want any extreme kind of bullshit porn. Okay, whatever. You're adults, and I make sure only adults are part of that group. And by adults, not 18 plus, not 21 plus. I need to evaluate and figure out, are you mature enough? Most of them are 30 plus, sometimes even 35 also I might reject. Okay, it's like that. So most of them are adults. But and I don't have anything to hide. I'm not going to tell you, I'm a decent guy. I don't watch. I do watch porn. There's enough and more Pornhub, XNX, and so many. You can just Google search. You get unlimited amount of porn. And given my declining testosterone, and today I don't feel turned on with all this, I've passed that phase. If I was in my 20s, I would love to have, those days we used to burn CDs, no? I had a folder dedicated to like 200 CDs or DVDs of porn, because I don't know why. We had a Napster and LimeWare and Lime something. We used to download. Those are small files, so as to store. Those were the days. And when I was taking steroids, when I was a guy oozing with testosterone, I literally wanted to have sex with as many girls as possible per day. Okay. So I've crossed that phase. Today, even if a girl totally naked opens her legs and then very hot and says, let's have sex, the first thing that would cross my mind is, bloody hell, she has STD. Or I might get herpes, or my career might be destroyed, or maybe she's trying to destroy me. So I would be disgusted. I'm being honest with you, whether you believe it or not. So in my porno group, I'm just crossed that phase where I look at breasts or a vagina and feel like, wow, ooh, yeah. I just look at it as, okay, whatever. I mean, you just have to scroll Instagram and you'll get enough and more shit like that. Okay, there are so many groups. I don't know how Instagram is even allowing this. Okay, a lot of these private groups on Instagram. So the point I was trying to make here is, so many guys keep sending porn, which is okay. You're adults. You have that's a common interest. Like I have bodybuilding groups, I have business groups, I have stock market, I have self-improvement groups. So, okay, porno group. But I can, even there, I have noticed adults with families, married, with children. I've had to kick out a couple of people, ban them from all my groups, because I found out they are interested or they have a fetish for pedophilia. And even if someone sends accidentally, huh, you're out. I'm sorry. It's not acceptable by any standards. However, you can literally detect when you know that guys sometimes when they chat and, once a while I see, oh man, catch them when they're young and this and that. You're like, oh man. Because always keep in mind, we live in a very challenging time today where literally what was unacceptable once upon a time is today considered cool, like OnlyFans. Well, females openly talk about sleeping with others, wanting sugar daddies, having sex with multiple number of guys. You have, I don't know from where these videos are or what channel. they're literally discussing what they have done in the bedroom, how many, you know, dicks or whatever they put from their back, front, mouth, nose, ears, mouth. And they are openly talking about it and they're very cool about it. Ha 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 ha. Like, what? And it's become a fashion statement to say, I'm a content creator on OnlyFans. I'm a content creator. What? So we are living in very strange times. And then it's a good thing our society still has a little bit of decency, because when I see the LGBTQ plus with all these alphabets and symbols after that, and they're trying to indoctrinate children and they're trying to normalize this, it leaves me very afraid. It leaves me very frightened. It leaves me very cautious. So I would just say that you have to be very careful. So whatever society does, it doesn't matter. You take care. You set the rules. That's number one. The number two is, please be aware. Have like I use this term, heightened sense of awareness. What is happening with things around? And if there's any individual or any person that you feel gives you these red flags or vibes, most probably it might be true. But one final thing which I told this guy is, please be careful when you talk about or brand someone. That is why when the Dalai Lama, bothered by and said, "You want to suck my tongue?" I was enraged and I made that video against the Dalai Lama. But when Tibetans, I don't know how did they get to see my video, but many of them, they approached me and they said, "No, you're misunderstanding." At first, I was like, "Shut up, this is nonsense. Dalai Lama is a pervert." But then I saw the educational video that one Tibetan who was, I don't know, educated in US, and he explained the culture. And I really did my due diligence. I realized that Dalai Lama was not a pedophile. Okay. Yeah, I know people talk about Epstein Island and Bill Gates and all that stuff. Okay. So it's very easy to brand someone as a pedophile. Very, very easy. People have called me a pedophile, literally. I had uh, the girl I was dating was supposed to be 18. She lied about her age. She was 17 years and 11 months, whatever, in Dubai. And I was dating her. At that time, I met her, 17 years, 11 months. She was going to be 18. She told me she was 18. It was only after her birthday, when I wished her, I said, "Oh, so now you are 19." And she said, "No, Loy, don't feel angry with me. Don't hate me. I'm 18." For me, it was not like, "Oh, wow." I was like, "Well, you told me you were 18 already." I was 17. I was afraid you wouldn't, be interested in me. I didn't give it much thought. I'll be honest with you. At that time, I was 31. So that is totally 15 years ago. Yeah. Yeah. 15 or yeah, whatever. 15, 16 years ago. So I didn't think much about it. And, I always use my logic that if you're 17 years, 11 months, 29 days, you are still underage. But one day later, you become 18, so you become an adult and you can go to a bar and pub and all that. So how does 24 hours make you an adult? So sometimes I feel the numbers don't make sense. Just because you're 18 doesn't mean you suddenly become an adult or mature. There are a lot of people who, even at the age of 30, have not found maturity or are not mature. And I know this because I deal with so many people. So uh, be careful how you throw the term or the title or the accusation of being a pedophile. Like Jason Momoa, when he was photographed with his two daughters and he just moved his hand like this on his daughter and she brushed it off. Kids, they didn't want to come to this gala opening or this event, all that. So people one guy from Brazil, okay, he commented, He's a pedophile. He's touching his daughter inappropriately and all that. And Jason Momoa, good for him, man. He didn't take it very lightly. He decided to track this guy. And this is an actual incident. You can Google search this. He actually tracked where the guy was, went all the way to Brazil and put a case on him. And he finally, like he had to apologize or pay a fine or whatever. So be careful. Be careful. Like David Beckham, his daughter is, I think, 15, 16 or whatever. He still smooches her on her lip. So they're pretty okay with that. For some people, like people say, ew, how can you do that? Well, in my Facebook group, not Facebook group, on my Facebook itself, there are a lot of females who even today kiss their dad and their mom on their lips. So Tibetan culture, by the way, they still kiss their elders on their lip. So that's why, the Dalai Lama, that incident, for me, it was a learning experience. My daughter still kisses me on the lip, and I don't find it necessary, but it's the way of showing that I am your papa. I don't have anything dirty in my mind, so that's what I want to communicate to my daughter, and she can open up to me. If, let's say, my daughter says, no, I don't want to kiss, fine. I'm not going to force. But there are certain avenues where my daughter cannot express discomfort, like, for example, respecting the elders, touching the feet, which is a very Thai Buddhist culture, or being humble. No, she doesn't have any options over there. You have to follow, protocol, respect, hierarchy. But if, let's say, for example, she's not comfortable with someone, or there, I will pay attention, a lot of attention. So, in conclusion, are they double standards in terms of men and women? 100%. What should be done? We should do our due diligence individually. We can't expect the whole world to follow our rules and to have things our way. And one final thing is, please be aware when you're on social media, when you're in groups, naming and shaming anyone without evidence is something you have to be very careful about. Very, very careful. Use it. Use your social media presence responsibly, because end of the day, if someone takes a screenshot of what you have said and sends it to that person, you just don't know how things might blow up. So that's all I have to say. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You agree, disagree? I would like to know what you have to say. All right. You guys take care. This is me signing off. Over and out.